had a friend, and he's like, one day he came to school and he had this, like, his hair cut shorter on the sides, and he had colored Vans and like this whole new look, and I was like, what the heck? And he's like, yeah, I'm a skateboarder now. I'm like, skateboarder? What's that?
Originally, skateboarding was bred from surfing. I mean, it was surfers that took their trucks and wheels off of roller skates and nailed them to 2x4s and went down the street.
Everybody in junior high school and high school, when they went to wood shop, they'd make a skateboard.
I was making them for friends primarily so I'd have somebody to go skateboarding with.
Everything back then in the 60s was modeled on surfing. You were skating, but you were emulating your surfing that you did that morning.
What I really want to know, my baby, what I really want to say is there's just one way back in our day, yeah, my soul underway.
Skateboarding came from surfing, and surfing has always been based on being smooth on the board. That's the key to really being a good skater.
When we were skating in the late 60s, the only thing we knew was sliding around on the ground, doing all these low pivot turns and surf turns. And in the late 60s, there was a commercial on television, and they had the Hobie Team. And these guys were doing handstands and jumping over benches. We didn't know if anybody outside of our little neighborhood in the whole world skateboarded. Seeing that was like, my God, there's people doing this. This is unbelievable. In the early 70s, freestyle took over. Wheelies, tricks, flips. And then what happened is the urethane wheel got invented. That unleashed modern-day skateboarding.
They actually had products made for skateboarding, not the clay wheels. You know, you could roll over rocks.
We went from doing wheelies to these radical turns, and you could start doing tricks that before were not possible.
I was born and raised in Santa Monica, Dogtown. We grew up on the streets. And that created that camaraderie of all my bros, all the Dogtown guys. We always had a hardcore attitude towards skateboarding.
And no one had ever seen the type of skating we were doing. We're all over the ground, you know, we're moving and carving and stuff like that.
Yeah, we related to Tony Alva and Stacy Peralta the most because they looked like they were surfing. Now you'd look at it and you go, what the hell is that guy doing?
We wanted to emulate exactly what was going on waves, and waves being vertical and having that surface, you know, was leading us obviously towards concrete structures that were built that way. We skated in a lot of different types of terrain that really weren't made for skateboarding. We started out with banks, and then we went to like reservoirs and bowls, empty drainage pipes, drainage ditches. We kind of created our own medium.
And from then on, the Dogtown style became the style that was to be matched. In the early 70s, there was a water shortage. Consequently, people couldn't fill their pools up. There were hundreds of pools all around Los Angeles that were empty. And we would cruise through alleys in Beverly Hills with one of the guys on the top of my car looking over at the fences looking for empty pools, and we'd find them.
I remember every time I was in a plane, I was looking out the windows with my maps, you know, marking down where the pools were.
It was like the ultimate buccaneering sport. You know, we're in your backyard. You're not there. We're grinding your pool. I mean, people are like, you know, what's going on here?
In a very short time, a number of riders were launching airs and landing them, and that was really when vert skating, because of the, you know, the vertical walls at the top of a pool, was an established art form and a major part of skateboarding.
These places would end up with, you know, hundreds of people skating them. Pretty soon the city would find out, and out they'd come and either jackhammer the pool or fill it full of water or do something.
And all these kids would go from pool to pool to pool. You had this whole network. There was a fireman that owned this pool, and we found out the schedule of when he worked. So we'd sneak into the backyard and ride his pool when he was at work. It was so subversive, but it was such a great time.